All right, in this video, you are going to learn how to type in your name and start working with the design of that. So you should have already created your file. You can see there I have my example file for this video. It's called 134 first last. Yours should be called your room number and your first name and your last name. I'm going to tap on that white rectangle to open up the file. And before you go touching on the screen, you want to know what the different things are that you're going to be doing. So on the left-hand side, I want you to notice that long rectangle with all those tools, and notice that the arrow at the very top is selected. That is the selector arrow. There is an arrow below that. That is a different arrow. That's for vectors, and we will talk about that a little bit later. But right now, you want to be selected on that arrow, and then if you want to drag your finger in the checkerboard when you're on that, nothing is going to happen. It looks like you're drawing a box, but nothing is actually happening. So if there were items on your design at this point, you would be selecting them, and we will use that tool. But if you're not on the selector arrow and you tap in the checkerboard area, you're going to be adding something to your design. So you want to be careful if you're not trying to add something that you just don't go touching in there unless you're on the selector item, okay? All right, so, and that will make more sense as we move along here. Okay, another thing is if you take two fingers and you pinch out, you will be able to see your entire work area, okay? So if you needed to zoom out, let's say you can't find something in your design, you know you drew it, but you're not seeing it on the screen, sometimes pinching out and maybe looking at the whole thing will help you find it. And then if you're trying to get really detailed on something, you can pinch in and get really detailed on one area. I like to keep mine about here. And yes, you can turn it to the side just like you would a real piece of paper, okay? Okay, so let's add in that text now that you know some basic things. So over on the left-hand side, a little bit more than halfway down, there's a paintbrush, and then underneath that, there is the letter T inside of a box. I'm gonna tap on that T, and that is the text tool. So I can just tap, I can draw a little rectangle inside of the workspace there. And then I can start typing. I'm gonna put my my name. You guys can do your first name, your last name. You can do just your first name, just your last name, whatever you're comfortable with. If we're talking, I don't really like nicknames or you know, anything besides that. It should just be one of those things, first name, last name. If you're called something other than what's on my roster, that's fine. But if it's anything crazy, I want to give approval for that first. Okay, so now I have my name on here, and it's in this certain font, and what if yours is in a different color, because it often comes out in a different color. I want to show you guys how to change the font, change the size, and all of those things. Okay, so we're going to use actually a different set of controls. So in the upper right-hand corner, there is a question mark, and then there's a paintbrush. Tap on the paintbrush and you're going to see all of the different things to change the style of this particular text that we just added. So the first thing is you have to make sure that the color of the text is black. And I know that some people really want their keychain, the words on their keychain to be like rainbow or red or purple or whatever. You absolutely can do that, but that will be after it's been cut out on the keychain. At this point, every single person needs to have their text be black. And it won't come out black on the laser cutter. It will come out clear because we're gonna use clear acrylic to cut these things out. But we're creating this file for the laser cutter to understand, right? It's a computer. It needs to know each color is a different function. And black, we are going to tell it to engrave everything that's black. So it's going to, you know, create a deep indentation into the acrylic where everything is black. And then once you get it out of the laser cutter, you can add whatever colors of paint you want in there. But again, you need to have it black. So on the right-hand side, where it says fill, it's kind of near the bottom, it says fill, and then there's like an oval that's black, and then like an eyedropper. You want to tap on that area that's black, or yours might be a different color. And in the little box that's red in one corner, white in another, and then black at the bottom, you can drag your finger around in there, and that's how you change the color of things, okay? But again, you gotta have it be black. Trust me on this one, okay? So I'm just gonna drag my finger to the bottom corner. You can do bottom right, bottom left, doesn't matter. And then you can swipe down the fill once you know that that's on black. Okay, so now let's change the font. So the font is right underneath the word style. And so I can tap on that, and you're welcome to change it to any one of these fonts. There's lots of different options for you. And then once you've found a font that you think you like, you can tap on style to get back out of there. You can make it bold or italics or whatever you want. You can change the size, but you can't go too big. I'm gonna make sure all your keychains are a particular size so that it works for a keychain. And then beneath size, there's the alignment. You can make it left aligned. I'm tapping on those little lines. You can make it center aligned, right aligned, or this one has like a center spacing alignment. I'm gonna do center alignment. You're welcome to mess with the kerning. That's like the space between all of the letters. If you really want yours to look like that, go for it. Or this tracking is something very similar. Line height you can adjust. That is it for this particular step. Okay, we don't want to do any other adjustments. So your text, pick your font, pick your size, pick your style, and it must be black fill. The fill must be black. Oh, one other item. Right underneath the word fill is the word opacity, and that means that your text is, you cannot see through it. It is at 100%, and you can tap on it. It has to stay at 100%. You do not want that to be off of there, okay? Okay, so that's it for the font video.